When it comes to games that absolutely shatter people's minds, I don't know if many come close to the amount of mind-blowing moments that Smash Ultimate had for a lot of people, from its initial reveal all the way to the very end, leaks notwithstanding. I mean, remember how they dropped Joker on us, just casually on the night of the game's release? The Smash Ultimate speculation cycle was an unforgettable experience, for better and worse, but I digress. Point is, Smash Ultimate was a once-in-a-lifetime moment in gaming history. Even Sakurai says as much himself, saying he made it as his last promise to the late Satoru Iwata. Even with a game as large in scale as Ultimate, people will always be wondering though, what if we made it even larger? These thoughts are louder than usual, as Smash's future is just about the most uncertain it's ever been, with a lot of people thinking this has to at the very least be Sakurai's last Smash game. And a lot of people are just wondering, how can you top this? This has led to a lot of people thinking that it'd be smart if come time for the next Nintendo system, Nintendo releases an enhanced port of Smash Ultimate with a few additional characters at launch and maybe an Fire Pass or two to cap things off. On paper, it seems like a slam dunk idea to take not only the best selling Smash game, but also the best selling fighting game of all time and add to it. However, I'm personally in the camp that does not want to see this happen, and in this video, I'll explain why. But before we get into it, if you like this video and want to see more content like this as we approach the lead up to the reveal of the next Nintendo system, consider liking and subscribing. My goal is to gain a small following as a Nintendo content career, and I'm willing to post discussion-based videos like this every 2 weeks or so. With that out of the way though, let me talk about why I don't want a Smash Ultimate Deluxe. Now, I don't think that anyone will deny that Ultimate is worthy of that Ultimate in the title, as the scale of it is much greater than anything we'd seen from a Smash game before. Collaborations we could have only dreamed of just a console generation ago were now commonplace in this game, and it's a miraculous feat that will likely never be replicated, and the efforts of anyone who's working behind the scenes to make it happen should be lauded. That being said, that effort raises the bar unreasonably high for whoever is working on the next game to even match it, let alone try to raise it further, as they'd have to go through all of that negotiation hell all over again, not to mention any other negotiations to add further to that roster. People are already astonished that we got 2 Final Fantasy characters in Ultimate, not to mention that Hero gave us a 3rd Square Enix character, if you don't count the Severed Heroes as their own unique character. So imagine the pain of having to go through a second round at the table with not only them, but also Disney in order to get Sora back as well. A lot of focus would be going towards simply getting the characters they already had back, which I'd have to imagine would at least make the development process of existing and new fighters a little more difficult. Going off of that, I wanted to use this next segment to talk further about my thoughts on Ultimate as a game. As a game, I think Ultimate is amazing when you're playing with other people, as per usual. That kind of setting is where Smash always shines. However, its single player offerings are where I take issue with it a lot more. The core gameplay itself is still great, and in my opinion is a solid step up from Smash 4, but when it comes to the modes in the single player, I don't hold the same opinion. For me, most of the single player modes in Ultimate just either felt more dull than in Smash 4, or were inferior versions of other modes that were in previous Smash games. The exception to this for me was Classic Mode, which was a vast improvement from its absolute butchering in Smash 4. It's just that while Smash Ultimate has that Classic Mode, for me 4 had the Master and Crazy Orders, Event Battles, All-Star Mode, Trophy Rush, and yes, maybe even Smash Tour. I just overall think that Smash 4 had more for me to keep coming back to as someone who doesn't often play with other people, in comparison to Ultimate, which was not all helped by having a genuinely terrible online that you now have to pay for. Along with World of Light, a single player mode trying to be the new Subspace Emissary, but it more or less just feels like a Spirit Battle marathon, with a few story cutscenes sprinkled in, along with the occasional obstacle or puzzle to slow you down and maybe make you backtrack a bit. Some of those very few puzzles were one of the highlights of the experience for me, but they were few and far between. If we simply got an enhanced port of Ultimate, I don't believe that a lot of improvements would be made to the existing single player content, except for maybe a slightly better quality online, depending on if Nintendo actually decides to take steps towards improving the online experience with their next system, which they probably won't. I think that a new, smaller Smash game would allow the developers to focus a lot of their time on simply refining the Smash formula as a whole, rather than focusing on playing in so many fighters, which can also open up new opportunities for the fighters that do stay, such as reimagined movesets for outdated fighters based on the newer games. One final point that I wanted to bring up, but may not apply based on if Sakurai is indeed at the helm for this theoretical enhanced port, is the idea of having a different guy lead the project. I have no doubt if Nintendo opted to go this route, that they'd at least try to bring on Sakurai as an advisor of some sorts, so that the game roughly sticks to the same vision it had when originally being developed. but I think there's still something to be said about any differences in design philosophy between the potential new Wii to Smash and Sakurai's vision, causing a notable clash that would negatively affect this game. Assuming it's a new guy at the helm for the next Smash game, I'd rather see them try to build a new foundation for the series, rather than try to follow on top what the old head of the games did and fail. Throwing that guy straight into a game that would likely have over 100 characters after all is said and done seems like a recipe for disaster. It'll likely be disappointing to a lot of us to see some characters that we liked in Smash get cut as a result, but in the long term, it's for the best to ease a new guy into a game that doesn't have as many characters. And you know what they say, less is more. But that's just about all I have to say regarding the topic. In conclusion, I don't dislike Smash Ultimate, far from it, but I think that we should move on from it and look towards building a new foundation for the series, possibly led by a new face of the series, rather than trying to continue chasing these highs by trying to one-up what's been done, at least in terms of scale. And that's always been the thing with Smash Ultimate for me. I think it's so easy to get lost in the sheer scale of Ultimate as a game that it becomes harder to see how that's affected the rest of the game until you take a step back. The spectacle of Smash Ultimate is one that will most likely never be replicated, but we can outdo it by continuing to improve on the formula and general gameplay of Smash as a series. An enhanced port of Smash Ultimate would just be like covering a hole on the wall. It ignores the bigger problem that currently exists. It's a game that, while I may not be a huge fan of it, feels like it's a perfect send-off to the Sakurai era Smash, if he does indeed choose to go that route. Choosing to just try and build on it or one-up it would be denying the fact the series needs to move into a new era, in my opinion, in favor of putting the series into a state of stagnation with no immediate way out. It was fun while it lasted, but it's time to keep moving forward, because nothing can last forever. So the best thing we can do is look forward to what lies ahead in the future. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.